about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, let us talk. Now let us talk about the brown bomber. Tell the nation his story. Let us talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, let us talk about the brown bomber. Tell the nation his story. Let us talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, now stop. Let me tell you this story, and I hope you understand. I want to talk about a mighty great fighting man. He fought with the master's hand. He was born way down in the lowland in the state of ALA. He was a farmer boy, so I was told he had mother wit in his heart. Until one day he's thinking hard, thinking about the things involved. He packed his bag, kissed his mother in the door, and headed for old Detroit. And there he started to work and train. He never did have any fun until one day, to his surprise, up walked Mr. Blackburn. Then Joe Louis started his career. His future was at stake. He fought from the bottom through the Golden Glove and on to the heavyweight. Now let us talk about the brown bomber. Oh, tell the nation his story. Good Lord, talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, let us talk about the brown bomber. Oh, tell the nation his story. Let us talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, there's canary smelling an old bear, just like the Battle of Jericho. John Henry Luce, Jack Dempsey was there, way down in Jericho. He fought Max Spell the second time, just like the Battle of Jericho. Knocked him down, took the crown, way down in Jericho. Now a million people, they all were glad, just like the Battle of Jericho. Greatest champ we've ever had, way down in Jericho. Now let us talk about the brown bomber. Oh, tell the nation his story. Good Lord, let's talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Well, let us talk about the brown bomber. Tell the nation the story. Let us talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man. Now just read the story of his life, just like the Battle of Jericho. His dear loving mother was the light, way down in Jericho. She told him to pray, treat your neighbor right, just like the Battle of Jericho. Very hard worker, went to bed at night, way down in Jericho. Now all you great fighters, you listen to me, just like the Battle of Jericho. You'll never win a battle until you get on your knee, way down in Jericho. Old Peter, Moses, James, and John, just like the Battle of Jericho. Joshua did the battle, and the battle was won, way down in Jericho. Now let us talk about the brown bomber. Tell the nation the story. Let us talk about the brown bomber. Joe Louis was a fighting man.
I bet you never heard that one before. I bet you never heard that song before. That was the Dixie Aries. Old song about Joe Louis was a fighting man. Thank you to Vonnie and Uncle Gus. You know what I mean? Aunt Vonnie and Uncle Gus across the pond. Thank you for that old song. I know you probably never thought I'd get to it, but I did. Yes, I did. And I got more of those old school songs I'm going to share on the channel because it was pretty dope. It's just pretty dope, to be honest. It's very good news, Kamal. Very good news, brother. And it's huge, tremendously important for the sport of boxing today, champ. We need boxing needs Tank versus Ryan Garcia. Why? Because it gives the YouTube boxing community something good to talk about. And we need that more consistently. That's pretty much. We need great content to talk about. We need great fights coming up. We need to be inspired so it can inspire the best out of us. That's all. So it can inspire the best out of us. I just ran across the Gervonta Davis article. And Gervonta I honestly believe is completely sincere about wanting to fight Ryan Garcia. Why? I think that's a fight Gervonta Davis believes he's going to win. And just on the same side for Ryan Garcia, he said it enough. He wants Gervonta Davis because I think he believes it's a fight he's definitely going to win. But here was the words of Gervonta Davis. And this was from Bleacher Report. And it was at one point in time, Gervonta Davis believed a throwdown and lightweight contender Ryan Garcia has a, was a bit too early. Now, however, it appears Garcia has come of age as Davis isn't only interested in the bout, he's pursuing it at all costs. That's Gervonta Davis. At all costs. And that is very, very good news for the sport of boxing. Because you got the old guard, my apologies. You have the new, young, and new fresh guard looking to make a fight that the fans desperately want to see. And this is a potential trilogy. That's the beautiful thing why this fight needs to happen. Because it's a potential trilogy. You feel me? I'm pushing for it for sure, said Davis during an interview with BoxingScene.com. For Davis, a book of contrition will come across his face over the years whenever Garcia mentioned his name. With the minimal amount of experience under his belt at the time, along with not being allowed to even purchase alcohol, Davis, 24-0 with 23 KOs, simply believed that Garcia was far too green to face him in the ring now. He simply can't wait to take on the California native. In Garcia's most recent ring appearance, he seemingly proved that he isn't only style, but also substance. On the second day of the new year, Garcia, 21-0, 18 KOs, was forced to pick himself up off the canvas against contender Luke Campbell. Not only did he dust himself off, but in doing so, he was given his defining moment as he went on to stop Campbell in the 7th round. Following the win, Garcia immediately grabbed the microphone and called out Davis once again. By all accounts, his nonstop mentions of Davis, along with his captivating performance, has worked. No longer is the former two-division world titleist under the impression that Garcia is no longer worth his time. In fact, Davis, 26, is anxious to add Garcia's name to the long list of contenders that have folded underneath his one-punch knockout. Davis and Garcia looks like it's going to happen. Everybody said they're on board with it, so it shouldn't be that hard to make. I just keep asking them over and over, promoters, Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather, and I think Floyd wants the fight to happen. So it shouldn't be hard to make it work. I'm ecstatic. Now, would I love to see Ryan Garcia face Devin Haney and get a belt? Yeah, I love to see that too, without a doubt. Would I love to see Devin Haney go up and fight the man, you know what I'm saying, of the lightweight 135 division, Teofimo Lopez? Hell yeah. You absolutely right. But you know what? I will not complain at all about seeing Ryan Garcia face Tank Davis, not one bit. Truly, truly, truly ecstatic. This fight needs to happen. Why? Because the fight will inspire other fighters to happen, other fights like this to happen. Because I think the fighters do not want to fall too far behind, in my opinion, to what Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez was able to give us. And Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez was able to get the diehards excited and inspired. And I inspired fresh new content. That inspired fresh new conversation. That inspired the desire to see the Fabulous Five do their goddamn thing. And that Fabulous Five is, of course, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. The new guard. The young boys on the block. The young men on the block, I should say. Good afternoon, Locke. What's poppin', champ? I don't believe this fight going to happen, Myron. Two different networks never work together. What do you mean they never work together? Why do you say that? Yes, they have. They've worked together tons of times. Do you mean these two networks, as far as PBC and Ryan Garcia, which is the Zone? They work together with Anthony Joshua and Andrew Ruiz Jr. You know, and maybe PBC did not feel they had a lot to lose in Andrew Ruiz Jr., but when he won, they realized they did, or they had a lot to gain, I should say. And I think both camps, the Zone and the PBC, should be willing to make this gamble, should be willing to make this fight happen. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain, it can boost, definitely boost each star of each stable, of each network. It could do great things for them. You know what I'm saying? They have nothing to lose. They really have nothing to lose in making this fight happen at all. Because once people see the first fight, I think each fighter are definitely going to want to have a second fight. Because each fighter is still in the dawn of their career, to be honest. Both of these fighters are in the dawn of their career, in the beginning. They're in that beginning sunset. Troy Graham, bless up to you, sir. How you doing, big bro? So the Zone and the PPC both have much to gain. And the YouTube boxing community must push this fight. With every inch, every minute, every time, every day, everybody in the YouTube boxing community, whether your stable is involved or not, whether your network is involved or not, should push this fight. Because boxing needs it. You know what I mean? Boxing needs this fight to happen. And if you love the sport of boxing, like I do, you want to do whatever's the best for the sport to help it thrive in 2022. You want to see the best for it. And right now, even though They both young in their career. That's all gravy. It's all good. You know what I mean? Sugar Ray Leonard and Benitez were very young in their career, and they still had both had great careers after it. Syph Bud, what's up, champ? I think both. I think it could happen, and I don't think Linares would be much of a factor. I think it would be the negotiations. The biggest factor in this is if that the zone and the PBC negotiate fairly for both sides. Okay, so in this case, the zone, I think, the zone, whichever one has the fights, they need to maybe do a one fight deal or a two fight deal. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not going to make no suggestions like I was because I'm not, a professional at making that shit happen or the numbers or anything. But it would be ideal. The idealist in me would like to see, hey, whichever one can see, say, okay, you know what? We'll go ahead and have this on Showtime pay per view. All right? We'll have this fight first on Showtime pay per view. The Zone would do dual marketing. Tank is the A side. Or they do it 50-50 down the middle. But have it on Showtime pay per view. Then the Zone can also get rights where they can show it on their platform the day after. You feel me? Doesn't that work right for everybody? Let it show on Showtime pay per view. The Zone concede to Showtime pay per view or Fox pay per view, whatever they're going to do it, to the PPC. The fight will be showed on pay per view. Okay? And then the Zone also gets viewer rights for it to be showed on their platform, say a week later or 3 days later, however they want to work it out. And then if there's a rematch, it will be on the Zone. You feel me? And then the PBC can in turn show it on their platform 3 days later, a week later, however you guys negotiate. I'm just throwing, hypotheticals out there. But they both can benefit. Because even if Ryan Garcia loses, he lost to Tank Davis. I don't think he will lose should I say, I don't think he'll lose any credibility at all. I don't think Ryan Garcia will lose much credibility, if any credibility. I think he should gain credibility, especially if he shows, puts up a hell of a fight. And vice versa for Tank. Because the truth of the matter is, if they say style makes matchups, then this is going to be a hell of a matchup. This fight is going to be a hell of a matchup because the styles is going to make it a hell of a matchup. Without a doubt. The desire for both of these fighters to knock out their opponents. The desire for both of these fighters to be the number one fight in the sport. The desire for that each of these fighters have to be the biggest thing in boxing and reach the pinnacle is going to show up in a matchup between these two young men. And my apologies for saying boys, but these two young men. without a doubt. You know, and I'm not going to say this is a fight that Tank Davis is definitely a landslide to win. I favor Tank a little bit, but I surely understand and feel Ryan Garcia can pose a lot of problems for Tank Davis. A lot of problems with flaws and all. Because Tank Davis has flaws as the same. But let the young men, the new guard of sport, take over. Jamar Turner said Ryan was capping yesterday. What you mean, bro? And if anybody know, the links are in the comment section. If you want to join in and have a great talk, be my guest. You know what I'm saying? And let's boost up both fighters and boost up the sport. You know? But you say Ryan Garcia was capping. What do you mean? What was Ryan Garcia doing? Because I am not aware. But this fight, this one of the proof, one of the things we do know, and let's say how we know this fight can be mega for 2022 is because when you got now Bob Arum, okay? Bob Arum now is asking for a fight with Ryan Garcia. Bob Arum asked Oscar for Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan next. Y'all see that? That was on Boxing News just yesterday. That's how you know this fight could be major. Tank versus Ryan Garcia. That's how you know that. Ryan Garcia has done an excellent job of marketing himself. And Ryan Garcia looks to be, as he's about to become Ryan Garcia is becoming the media darling, I should say. He is positioning himself to become that golden boy. And Bob Arum recognizes that. And now Bob Arum is trying to push for a Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez fight, which I think is much tougher for Ryan Garcia, a tougher fight for Ryan Garcia to win than Tank Davis, in my opinion. But this lets you know that, should I say, the boxing world is up in attention or standing at attention and recognizing that now is the time to do something. You lost half of not all of 2021. And 2022 is the time to make some shit really happen. And they want to capitalize, you know, off the potential stardom of Ryan Garcia now. Because if Teofimo Lopez beats Ryan Garcia, then that means all eyes brings more eyes to Teofimo Lopez, of course. If Ryan Garcia beats Teofimo Lopez, that brings more eyes on Ryan Garcia as the man. And the same case, of course, Ryan Garcia beating Tank or Tank beating Ryan Garcia. Right now, they're recognizing in the boxing world that it's still open game. Even though Teofimo has all the belts. And Teofimo has grabbed the hearts of most really diehard fans. Most diehard fans are recognizing Teofimo at number one. But all these other fighters in this picture right here are still very much in the hunt. It's still up for grabs on who's going to truly be leader of the new school. You know what I mean? And so far, by just media perspective, the media perspective, Ryan Garcia, okay, and Tank Davis are leading the way on the media perspective, on the recognition perspective, on the hype perspective, should I say. And I mean by how, and what I mean by that is about how the money and the machine that's behind them to pushing them that much. Teofimo Lopez could be number one, definitely. But I mean, far as the marketed machine, Ryan Garcia, Javante Take Davis is right there. And Teofimo Lopez may only be really in the lead. The head is because he has 3 belts plus the WBC franchise title. That's why he's in the lead. But if Teofimo Lopez wasn't in the lead or didn't have those 3 belts and the franchise title and didn't have the win over Vasily Lomachenko, then he will probably be third as far as the marketing machine behind them, behind these two guys without a doubt. Teofimo Lopez would be third behind them two, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. You know? And that's not to fault of Teofimo Lopez because he's done everything inside the ring. Fork knife dance, backflips, beautiful performances, and he's put himself to the task and beat 2 world champions back to back. 2 reigning world champions. And the reigning pound for pound champion of the world, which is, of course, was Lomachenko. Teofimo has all that going for him, yes. But still, the marketing machine, those 2 young brothers right there, are not behind Teofimo Lopez. And that's why this fight, even though no major belt will be up, this still will be a major fight because it's the youth. They got the youth on their side. And when I mean the youth on their side, I mean the youthful fans, the young people, and the casuals. You know what I mean? So I think this is awesome. And this is exactly what boxing needs today. And I think every YouTuber, if you love the sport of boxing, piece of pugilism to you, push this fight. It has the appeal, it has the performance, or should I say, it has the opportunity, every opportunity and ability of giving us an amazing performance by both men, which will increase the appeal of boxing because both fighters have much personality. Both fighters have much personality, and it will inspire. It will inspire us to make better content and the best content we possibly can make. You know what I mean? And it will create great debates and discussions. And that is why boxing needs Tank versus Ryan today. Without a doubt. Okay? Hit the like button and subscribe. Of course, this is Boxing Logics United. Now I'm getting the lies out the way when we're pushing some heavy videos sooner or later, getting back on the video grind, perfecting the art and craft, and making some good content for these 2 young brothers so we can keep building this fight up and making it as big as we possibly can make it for boxing. And that's what it's all about. What's something else I wanted to say real quick? Um, Forgot. Totally forgot. But it's all good. But yo, I'm ending this joint right now. Thank you for coming through. Peace and pugilism to you. This is Myron Magnus, Boxing Logics United. Tank versus Ryan. Make it happen. Salute to all.